So basically, this floor was sanded 5 times. Everybody wasn't kind of wanted these floors to be done to make her happy, and somehow it was two problems. I think it was there. One, the quality wasn't there. I think that was a major problem. The second one, they couldn't understand her, so they keep trying things, to keep trying things. But anyway, I had that challenge to go. This is a really, it turned much bigger challenge at the end. So and I went there and I went prepared. I made some maple, even it's a new wood. I made some maple panels. So when I go there to try, see if I'm gonna have qualify that job, uh, before I even touch your floor. Because sometimes, guys, you start sanding a part and then trying it, and it doesn't come up good or come up okay. Now you're married to that floor. You just ruined that floor, even though that floor been ruined 5 times. So I don't want to do anything on the floor. First, I want to understand if I'm there, am I close to the color? So and I went there and I put it on a new maple floor. I made the color. She's looking those browns. Um, Her challenge was this. She wants brown, but she doesn't want a green in it, which is easy to do. Okay? The brown could go to toast to green or it could go more red, So I went more reddish brown and I did it. And she says, this is fantastic. Can we get this on this floor? And then I know that's in the right direction. I took the risk. I have all these samples. You could see all these colors. Then I sent it a spot because this is an older wood. It's got more orange in it. So I had to cut down the yellow and red a little bit less to get that color on the floor. So I made that color identical on the floor. And they looked at it. They said, this is perfect. We really love it. And can we do bigger space? So I did it a little bigger space. So I dedicate my day for her. And I have a bigger space. And she looked at it and she said, this is great. This looks really, really good. I love it. And so we come back next day and say, so you good? So we go ahead and start this project. Let's talk about it. So Avedis, we looked at it overnight with my husband, and we think that it's too warm, it's too reddish and all that. Can we make it a little cooler? I said, yeah, if I make cooler, it might start going towards to green. We have to be careful. Yeah, but my husband don't like the red. And I said, okay, it's a normal situation. And that time, Vartan starts worrying, my partner, and they were so happy, they were so perfect. What happened? So we made another sample, a little cooler. Now they look at it, can we make it a little warmer? So I spent another day, cooler, warmer, warmer. So we got it. And then they came to the end and said, okay, we like this. We're going to go with this. And I explained them about her lights. She knew about 3000, the Calvin. She knew about the 95 CRI. She got perfect, very expensive lights. She really understands color better than probably me. She sees better than me and better than Vartan. If she sees better than Vartan, I understand that she really sees more than she should see. Maybe she's that. So here we are going to do it. So we said, you know what? Because she hasn't been happy so many times, why don't we do a little bedroom first? And then from there, I can move on, adjustments if I need to. So we start putting the bedroom and we come and stop because LED technology, you can stop and continue, so it's not an issue. We left that room and we came back next day and she said, Avedis, it's beautiful color. We never got this close. But it was funny that it looked good today and morning and afternoon, it starts getting greenish again. And so I know how much she hates the green in it. And then she goes, and then evening time, it comes back again. I said, okay, look, let's start getting serious. The sunlight during the day going to give you different colors. And a reflection of the walls from outside, it's going to give you different colors. And then also she said during like, 3 o'clock, it starts kind of getting gray. I said, okay, now I start going a color theory with her with the light. I start explaining her because how you make gray, if you have that brown, if I put white in it, it will turn gray. So when the sunlight hits the wall, the reflection that white goes into the color brown, it turns gray. So I convince her with that. Now, the different daytime, the outside wall is red, the brick wall reflects the light from there, it's a different color. So when sun is the other side hits to the glass and comes back more yellowish, it turns more green. So that's a different color. So I went through this all color light reflections with her to understand. And that time, Vartan, he was kind of scared to continue. But for me, it was a challenge that I know I can make the color, but now she got to understand which color source she takes to be her source.
You also had a challenge to satisfy two different opinions because her and her husband, they.
Exactly, but that's still, it's growing. I'm not finished with that. From beginning, we thought it's easy. We satisfy him and her, kind of we took in the between. We're okay there. But now the day challenges starts changing. The husband was not, you know, uh, you know, getting involved in this because kind of he likes going towards to the green, because he doesn't want to go to the red. So he says, yeah, Avedis is start. So now we're thinking that I want her to understand. And that time, like, she says, can we try to get less of green in it? So we're going to continue. So what I did a little trick. Maybe she's going to hear this and she's going to hate me. So me and Vartan, we put one on the floor, a little bit more actually. If we put the first of all, same color. And we said, how would you like this? She goes, Avedis, this identical, same color. I said, okay. So we're talking, me and Vartan, Armenian. Said, okay, let's just put tiny bit of green, like she hates. So we did that, and I said, what do you think about this? She looked, she said, Avedis, I think you put, it looks more green. I said, really? I thought I'm going more to the red. So now we put a little bit red. That me and Vartan would not even see that red, right? A tiny bit, like a little needle. She goes, oh, I think it went to red. I said, oh my God. She's a tetrachromatic. She sees over a million colors, over 100 million colors, because we are all trichromatic. We got three cones. And look up to that, what a tetrachromatic is. People, usually ladies, they get this another cone. This got four cones, and they could see instead of million colors, 100 million colors. So she sees that fine variation. Now I understand why the daylight, different hours, could make a huge difference on her vision. Now I know these five people, when they send it over and over, besides it was a little sloppy, but what they went through, how they tried to change this color. So now it takes for me to her to make her understand, first of all, she's very sensitive with the colors. She sees it. And then little effects, reflection from the wall, the reflection from the brick walls, different daytime, cloudy, it makes all difference, right? So now I put her in a challenge and I said, look, you see, tetrachromatic people could see the green separate, red separate in the brown. So if the green goes a little bit more, they're going to see a lot of green. So she got to be able to ignore one of the color to see overall brown. But I told her, I can help you, but with the one reason, you have to make a choice of a color, the light. So you have this 3000 Kelvin. Are you happy with this? Is this going to be your dominating color, light source? She says, yes, most of the time It might be curtains, but come home after work. This is the light source. I said, great. I'm going to cover all the windows. We're not going to let any light so I can make the color under this. She says, that's fine. So we made a color under 3000 Kelvin without green, without too much red. And she looked at it. She said, this is perfect. So we go full force. We do the entire apartment. She looked at it. She loves it. Now, she said, Avedis, it still looks little bit green. Even though you did it, it looked good. But overall, when I'm looking at it, with white walls and this, can we adjust this color now? I said, well, the way I work, every additional coat, layers, it costs extra. So she's fine with that. And I can't do it. I can't lie to her. I said, no. Why don't I say yes? Because in a clear coat, I can add a little bit of red, and this in case magenta, to kill that green more. So what I did samples on the floor, different transparent reds, magenta, to kill that green. 1%, 2%, 3%. So husband and her will look at it and choose which way to go. And I'm not curing them. So if you don't cure them, the LED, you can wipe it off with the alcohol. Not a tequila, denatured alcohol. So after she looked at it, she says, you know what, we got a minimum. We got a minimum 1%. I kind of value that. She was very happy. And I'm looking at husband's face. I see he's not happy. I said, ooh. So what's going on? He goes, Avedis, be honest with you. It was great before. After you put that magenta, it looked like I got a cranberry floor. So basically, he sees more red, and she sees more green. Now I see, wow, we have a challenge here. I said, well, listen, it is what it is. Over time, it might get more yellow, and the yellow going to create more green, and it's going to go out, that magenta, because over time, every time even when you do a white floor, I put a little bit violet in it, because the violet, once we get the yellow, violet is the red and blue. When the floor gets aging yellow, that violet will disappear. So I brought that concept to him. He says, no. Now I told her that you guys got to make a decision. You guys want me? I could put another coat, little green in it, and lose the magenta, because I want them to be happy. Now, an entire place. So I can put as much as coats you want. He went back again. We start making a sample on the floor. So now we got clear coat, very, very small amount of a green, turquoise green. So we don't go that, the bile color, bile. That's what she was saying. The bile that the organ creates that for digestion. So we don't go to that. They looked at it, the kind of argument between them, and the end they decided, yeah, they want to go like 1%, turquoise inside to kill that cranberry magenta. Here we go. We maroon pad it, we put it on, voila, they're all happy. I didn't open the windows yet. I said, look, guys, under this light, this is what we got. Remember, in a daylight, you're going to get a variation of the colors, but at night when you come home, it will be this color. So they got very happy. At the end, I'm very happy. I made a family happy, and also she realized that she is extremely color sensitive. She doesn't believe it still, but I think she's 100% tetrachromatic. What she sees, I ask her, if I have a project overseas with the color, would you fly with me? She goes, anytime, Avedis, I'll be your help. So she's a really good friend now, and I'm so happy that I kind of kept that old world with the cracks and all that, but we put this very modern color. We kept both of it, and it looks really great. Both of them happy, and